unlike some people claim.
You didn't see a blue T-shirt around? Waller had it?
The other question that people always ask me, Mike Katz was looking for his T-shirt in a movie. Did in fact everyone play a trick on him and steal his T-shirt or hide his T-shirt to confuse him and therefore lose the competition? The reality of it is that he did look for the T-shirt at one point just because he's misplaced it, but no one was hiding it. But after we saw this footage, we went out and shot additional footage to create a scene where a bunch of bodybuilders get together, throw the football, have fun, and then Ken Waller says, you know what I'm going to do to Mike Katz? I'm going to hide his T-shirt. As a matter of fact, I'm going to hide his bathing suit. I'm going to hide everything.
Hey, you know what I'm going to do when I get to Africa? I'm going to take Katz's shirt, I'm going to hide it. Mess his mind up a little bit.
So that football scene was actually shot way after the competition was over. And we have had all the footage already, just in order to create this scene of the Mike Katz getting his T-shirt stolen by Ken Waller, and that he messed up his mind, so he loses the competition. Pain in your muscles and aching, that's what makes actually the muscle then grow. If you can't go through this pain barrier, forget it. One of the most common questions I also get is, did we take steroids? Because now, of course, drugs is such a big issue in sports. And the answer is yes. It was just in a beginning stage because bodybuilders in those days just experimented with it. But it was not illegal. We talked about it very openly. I mean, anyone that was asked, he says, you take steroids? Yeah, I take 3 Dianabol a day. Or someone else would say, I would take this, and that. It was not an illegal thing. Now, after it became a big problem, then our federation said, okay, bodybuilders ought not to take steroids, and there will be testing done, surprise testing done. You could be called at any given time, and within 2 days you have to do a test, so you can't get rid of the whole thing out of your system or anything like that. So that's what's going on right now, that bodybuilders are tested continuously. It's as satisfying to me as having sex with a woman and coming. People still ask me, for instance, is it true? And they're still trying to find out. Is it in fact true that a pump is better than coming? Because that's what I said in the movie. And the reality, of course, is no, it has nothing to do with one and the other. It feels great to be a champion. It feels great to train. It feels great to pump up and all those things. But how can you compare one with the other? It's two different things. You better get both, the pump and the coming. But I mean, the reality is I made up a lot of this stuff because I felt like that's the way you get attention. You have to, I believe that the more sensationalistic that you are, and the more outrageous things that you say, the more you get quoted, the more you get in the papers, and the more the sport of bodybuilding will benefit, because the more stories we will get about the sport of bodybuilding. So that's what it really was all about. We couldn't have made this movie about Arnold Schwarzenegger, about my life or something like that, about my bodybuilding or my drive to win or all this stuff. That would have been boring and it wouldn't have done well. What made this movie successful is because we had so many bodybuilders in the movie that were very colorful. I mean, Lou Ferrigno had a specific part in this movie and it worked so well. People loved this character. Ed Corney, Franco Colombo, I mean, Ken Waller, Mike Katz, Serge Nubret. I mean, there were endless amount of guys that really brought the color and the dimensions to the film, and it made the relationships very interesting. Relationships that were, shown in the movie. A lot of it was true, and some of it was created and made up. But the reality of it is the movie has a lot of real stuff in there. I mean, the real competition, real training, real agony, real defeat, all of those kind of things it has in there.
One and only Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Many people come up to me and say how they were inspired by Pumping On. First I heard it about the book, then even 10 times more when the movie came out. They were inspired to train, it changed their lives. They tell you the most unbelievable stories of what impact it had, how it created in them the will to succeed in life and to do something with themselves, if it is in bodybuilding or in other sports or in business. It is amazing the impact the movie had. So I hope that this movie, when people watch this DVD, has the same impact on them as it had on many hundreds of thousands or maybe millions of people around the world. Which is they walk away and get inspired and jump into the weight room and lift the weights to find out if it's really true what I said. Is a pump better than coming? It's not, trust me.
Cinemax Final Cut presents an exclusive interview with Arnold Schwarzenegger, star of the classic documentary Pumping Iron.
I remember that George Butler came to me in 1974 and said, I want to do a documentary about bodybuilding. And I said, well, it's going to be without me because I'm retired. And then he said, well, I absolutely need you to stay in competition and to compete one more year in order for us to make this documentary. So I competed one more year.
One and only Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Well, I'm very happy that I did because the movie became, a huge hit. Pumping Iron became a classic. Well, I feel somewhat emotional about this 25th anniversary of Pumping Iron. When I saw some of the old stuff, it brought back such great memories of what a great time we had in the 70s, training for the World Championships, the camaraderie that existed at that time. But at the same time, it amazed me of what I was willing to do. Training 5 hours a day, lifting 50 tons of weights, burning 10,000 calories, and doing anything that it takes to win. The people going to see when they see Pumping Iron is basically, it's a historic kind of a classic movie because it really captures a time when bodybuilding was just coming out of the closet, so to speak, or the basement, and became a huge sport. You're going to see, what it takes for people, what kind of training people are willing to go through.
Up more weight. Let's go. I want to beat him.
The pounds and pounds of weights, the tons of weights they're willing to lift every day to become the most muscular man. Anyone and everyone will get something out of this film because it's a film that is really fascinating. And it is about people rather than just about a sport. It's about people.
Don't miss Arnold Schwarzenegger and the 25th anniversary special edition of Pumping Iron. Pumping Iron is back and celebrating its 25th anniversary. Cinemax caught up with Arnold Schwarzenegger and some other familiar faces at the premiere party honoring his classic documentary.
Cinemax has offered to show the movie and celebrate with us all that special day, the day when the movie came out, the year when this whole revolution started taking place.
I saw it in 1977, right when it came out. My brother took me to it. I met Arnold like 2 months later, so I have a special little spot in my heart for this film.
It's astonishing that an independent film is getting this kind of reception. I don't think it's ever happened before.
Cinemax was there to talk to the original cast.
I think it's fantastic because 25 years ago I was here, posing the night of the premiere.
My favorite scene in the film?
Got to be me hanging off his arm.
Yeah, that's right. Just like that.
There's an original idea, especially to see how bodybuilding makes people stay young. As you see, the way I look 25 years later, I look even younger.
We also spoke with some of bodybuilding's current title holders.
I think bodybuilding has come a long way, just like everything else.
When was the first time you saw Pumping Iron?
I was 16 years old. I just joined the gym. I trained for 3 months. The gym owner gave me a tape. Here, you might want to watch it.
The favorite part of the movie are my friends that are in it. It's like extraordinary. Each one of the guys has done such a great job after that and has at the same time promoted the sport.
Don't miss Pumping Iron 25th Anniversary Special Edition.